Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be starting a little mini-series on an upcoming game. This is Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy, which is the sort of semi-follow-up to Rogue Trader, which was Owlcat's role-playing game set in the Warhammer 40K universe that I played, a lot. I think it was over 100 episodes of back when it released. Enjoyed it a lot. As I said, this is the follow-up game, so it's not a direct continuation of our Rogue Trader story. I believe we're a completely new set of characters in the same universe, obviously. This time we're kind of on the Inquisition side, I think. I think we're Inquisition agents, sort of going out, solving crimes, fighting enemies, that sort of thing. It all sounds very interesting. I've had my eye on it, and Owlcat very kindly sent me a key for the ongoing beta. So we're going to I haven't played it yet. We're going to dive into new game and see for ourselves. I'm just going to play on normal, I think. I'm not really going to change any. I'll just, scroll down so you can see how customizable the difficulty options are. But I'm just going to go in as kind of, the default settings, effectively. Okay, we get a portrait. I imagine they'll probably add more portraits throughout the beta. I don't even know what character I want to play as. In terms of build, like I said, I haven't even sort of gone in and seen the options. Let's pick this guy. He looks all right.
Violent cities, then. Better your blood than mine.
Better your blood than mine.
Seeking the advantage. Always on the move. I'll make it work.
Tremble and weep! I am the bringer of his punishment.
I'm going to go down the pragmatic route.
Then.
I think that kind of sounds more like, sort of the character idea I have in my mind. Archetypes, which reflect the character's path of development. So we saw most of these, I think, in Rogue Trader. So warrior, as it sounds. Officer may be someone who commands the battlefield a bit more, with buffs, debuffs, that kind of thing. In fact, you've got quite a helpful wheel here that kind of shows what they're good at, like melee, defense, not so much ranged or psychic ability. In fact, 0 psychic ability on the warrior. But then if we flick over to the officer, you can see that, yes, it's a support class, effectively. Decent all-rounder apart from in psychic stuff. Then you have operative, which is maybe more like the rogue, like a sniper would be an example of an operative, I think. Or an assassin type, so quite good melee, quite good ranged. Yeah, okay. We've got soldier, which if we watched Rogue Trader, Argenta, Sister Argenta was an example of a soldier, so very good with firepower, ranged firepower. Very good, very mobile on the battlefield, actually. Which is interesting with the operative not being as good with mobility. And then the mystic, which is the psychic stuff. Now, it says progression locked here. But I think it might say that for these classes as well. Whether that's a beta thing or just like an initial character creator thing, I'm not sure. So I played a pyromancer in Rogue Trader. Which was, late game, felt very powerful. But I probably had more fun with, Abelardo, I think, was a warrior, and Argenta, the soldier, felt a bit more, just had a better feel for me to play. If we were playing kind of the leader of this unit of Inquisitors, though, I might go warrior. I like playing as Abelard. That was quite fun. I think it's, apart from the psychic stuff, obviously, it's a fairly good all-rounder, I think. So let's go with that. Now, origins... So what will this do? This gives you some starting perks, I think. So, ballistic skill, probably not that important for us if we're really going to be sort of more of a melee unit. You can kind of get a bit more detail about what the perks do, I think. Designates an ally as their comrade in arms, gaining bonuses when both attack the same enemies. Okay, so sort of comboing. If I was to highlight this, I guess we could probably hover over these and see what they do. Bonus damage dealt to armor and or wounds. So in Warhammer 40K RPGs, I don't know if it's just a setting thing or an Owlcat thing within the setting, but wounds is the same as HP, basically. Okay, well that's quite... Yeah, maybe. Then we got the Noble. This character saps morale from the target enemy. One enemy creature within a 12-cell radius. Okay. Fellowship is good for... Yeah, like it says here. So ability to influence those around them. So if you... probably not bad for a leadership class within the group, because you're going to be doing a lot of dialogue checks, I'd imagine, that sort of thing. So that could help, for sure. The attack deals 8% more damage against non-disposable enemies. I don't know what a non-disposable enemy is. I'll be honest. This ability costs -1 AP, less if the noble's around 10 or greater than that of any enemy. Oh god. Okay. Aura of Contempt. The target enemy suffers -1 morale. If the enemy's morale is above 0, they suffer -2 instead. Okay. Target allies' damage is increased by... Okay, so it's all about kind of buffing or debuffing morale and getting effects building off that. Sanction Psyker doesn't really apply to us because we're not playing a relevant class. Then we got Criminal. Targeting an enemy reduces their hit chance. Attacks against that enemy are made with increased hit chance. We get Agility. So movement and reaction speed as well as their ability to evade attacks. That's movement points and bonus to the defense. Could be useful. Needling. Target must pass a metal test. On a failed test, they suffer -9 penalty. Okay. The target of this ability deals +6 vitals damage. This attack deals 12% more damage to disposable enemies. I'm guessing probably disposable and non-disposable just suggests to me like the disposable ones would be like very weak mobs. Whereas non-disposable, yeah, tougher enemies. I'm gonna go with the Noble for now, I think, just for this look at the beta. Dynasty as an okay, so so this is the main text. So as an aristocrat of the Calixis sector, you belong to one of the ancient noble dynasties of the Imperium. Your house, as befits the elite of society, holds a certain sphere of influence, which is what allows your kin to retain their privileged status. Each dynasty grants you a bonus to 1 characteristic and and bonuses to 2 skills. Passive ability unique to each dynasty, a modifier to the Imperial Noble Origin active ability. Okay, so Fallen Dynasty.
The Witch.
Character is more resilient to morale loss and gains morale when their allies' fighting spirit is broken.
The enemies of
Mental
mankind
resilience.
are ever present. Terrible and insidious.
Interrogation could be useful. Then we've got
You can come
Righteous
to the
Dynasty.
scale of the threat we face.
This character deals increased damage to the enemy commander and gains additional morale when damaging.
Is what it means to serve
Good
in
weapon
our
skill
order.
is the melee weapon stuff. Ballistic skill is the firearms.
Those who stand
Intimidation and metal resist hostile mental abuse. That's not bad.
surely will not.
Merchant Dynasty. More fellowship, more wits. Non-combat skill reflects one's common sense and receptiveness to new information. Diplomacy. Well, there's a lot going on here that doesn't really make sense to me right now, but I'm sure will once we're into the game. I might go Righteous Dynasty for now. Oof, and Homeworld. The world where a person begins their path leaves an indelible mark on them. The planet's type, rulers, climate, and other qualities are what shapes not only the individual's body, but also their soul. Okay, so a hive world. Character gains morale while adjacent to allies, or extra movement while isolated. Okay, so whether you're with allies or not, you kind of gain a bonus of some kind. Plus fellowship, which kind of you know, accentuates what we're taking from our archetype. Agility, good. Wits, mobility. The chosen ability uses character. One round, the high-vol character's defense is increased by 2 for each ally. Influence. Target of this effect suffers minus 14% hit chance while attacking for the first time in their turn. 3% more damage for each ally within their influence. Okay, okay. We've got Death World. The chance to suffer critical effects is significantly reduced. If resisted successfully, the character gains morale. So we gain toughness. Perception. Okay. We're a bit tougher, basically. We got a Forge World. Gains morale when their armor is high, or extra movement when their armor is low. Intelligence, toughness, tech use, resistance. Well, I might go for Hive World of these. No, I'm doubting myself. Let's go Hive World for now. Like I said, I mean, this is only a look at the beta, so stuff may well change when I play the full version. I think weapon skill is going to be quite important, so we can add lots of 5. Let's just do that for now. I can't reduce the ballistic skill, so we'll have to take that. Strength is good. Affects melee damage, so we're going to want maybe a couple of bumps in that. Toughness is our physical resilience, so I imagine we're going to want a bit of a bump in that. Agility, we've already got a bump in that. Learn and make logical connections. Not sure. We got 2 more. Would quite like a bit more. I'm going to add 1 to that. That gives me 1 to raise. Might be weapon skill. Because there's going to be combat. We want to make sure we can survive. Appearance-wise, I'm not hugely fussed. I might just go with, you know, the default on this. But we can have a quick look at the options. So, you know, you've got some faces, body types. I'm going to go with kind of the default one. Skin tones, hairstyles, hair color, eyebrows color, beard. Oh, we got to have a villain. So, okay, we'll have a villain moustache. We'll do that much. There we go. Okay. Tattoos you can have. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Augmentations. Not worry about that right now. Oh, okay. And then these kind of just quickly clip through. So that's all the characterization, customization options. That's fine. We're going to stick with that, I think. Character's name. Boring dude. Hive World, Imperial Noble, Warrior. Okay, I'm happy with that. How do I finalize? Why? Protocol. Your aching joints are twisted to their limit, locked in manacles. It is hard to breathe. The bitter scent of sacred incense fills your nostrils and throat, making you lightheaded. Inhale. A sharp pain echoes from the ribs broken during the interrogation. Exhale. The swollen artery at your temple throbs in time with the scratching of the Tyrantine Cabal arc transcriptors, cogitaquil. The attention of those present is fixed upon you, but you cannot tear your gaze from the dark eye sockets of the golden mask looming over the stands. Arch Transcriptor. Session 2800432 Iota Pi of the Cabal is now convened. Subject of the session, the loss of the vessel Schultes' Valor, the loss of 86% of Terminus Omega Warband, including servants of the Golden Throne, of mid and high rank, Acolyte Iriadis Zev, status deceased, Acolyte Persephone Shriek, status deceased, Inquisitor Leander de Tural, status deceased, the accused, Boring Dude. Why am I the only one answering at this hearing? Of course, as soon as the verdict reached the docks of the Bastion Serpentis, the few who survived the slaughter aboard Schultes' Valor were isolated for debriefing. Standard procedure. The remarkable thing is that after confirming the death of Inquisitor de Tural, they are still willing to hear you out. According to witness testimony, Terminus Omega Warband bears partial responsibility for the loss of the Holy Inquisition's mechanical, informational, and human resources. The death of the Inquisitor, however, is the sole responsibility of the Acolyte. Accused, do you deny your guilt? Well, obviously, we don't really have any knowledge of what's happened. Let's have a quick look. Sequence of unforeseeable circumstances. I fulfilled my duty. The mission was under the command of high-ranking agents. What transpired was a sequence of unforeseeable circumstances. I acted as the situation demanded. Inquisitor Millicentilia. Oh, undoubtedly. Leander's death was a great and noble sacrifice. The projection of the woman in massive armor dissolves into a hexagonal grid and immediately reforms. And also a painful blow to the strength of the Tyrantine Cabal. Everyone present understands this. Interrogator Lucinda Ferranis.
With all due respect to the Cabal, I would beg leave to ask the Acolyte a different question. I propose we address another portion of the testimonies gathered and the remnants of data extracted from the Servo Ossuarium, specifically those regarding the causes behind the fall of Schultes' Valor. Inquisitor Soldovan wishes to know, are you certain of the version of events you have put forward? Answer, Acolyte Boring Dude.
A probing, unblinking gaze studies your face. Okay, so I literally don't know what's kind of happening here. I'm just going to say I'm not certain. It all happened so quickly and my memory may be failing.
Failing, you say? Pity your mnemonic faculties are so deficient.
Armazi's Servo Emissary. Inquisitor Armazi's voice, streaming from the servitor's vox, cuts through the tense pause. The truly remarkable fact in this entire affair is that the Acolyte survived direct exposure to the light of the Tyrant Star. Now, I probably get a little bit of background here. The Tyrant Star is an unidentified stellar phenomenon, also known as the Hereticus Tenebrae, Comus, and the spectral sun whose manifestation in real space heralds devastating catastrophes. Each appearance of the Tyrant Star is accompanied by warp disturbances and surges of sorcery and mutation, as well as riots and rebellions. Although the Tyrant Star has been the subject of extensive inquisitorial study for many decades, its true nature remains unknown. Okay. Let Boring Dude recount his experience now, lest the knowledge be lost to sudden madness or some other consequence. I don't know whether monodominant Amalathian or Xenos hybris. Oh, okay, hang on. This is okay. So what we got here? Monodominant An uncompromising exterminator of even the slightest signs of heresy, driven by the high ideals of duty, service to the God Emperor's will, and self-sacrifice. Okay. Or we have Xenos Hybris, an adherence of the necessity of xenotech research in cooperation with Xenos for the sake of achieving the goals of the Imperium. I'm going to go... Yeah, I have got some score here already, it must be said. But I'm going to go with this. What an interesting request. I'm glad that within the Tyrantine Cabal there remain some who understand the value of knowledge, especially the forbidden kind. A number of approving exclamations reach your ears, as do several indignant outcries. Your response has caused unrest among the audience. While some evidently welcome your broad-mindedness, others are furious over words they consider to be tantamount to heresy. The Tyrantine Cabal is clearly divided between those who would interpret the freedoms of the Inquisition more liberally, and those who insist on strict adherence to existing prohibitions. So Xanthite is obviously something different. Xanthite is a faithful servant of the God Emperor who believes that the forces of the archenemy can and must be used for the benefit of the Imperium. For in their righteous hands, those very forces will become a weapon of truth. Okay, so what was the... Can I see my other choices? What was the Amathine? Or whatever it was called. I can't see what that meant now. But okay. The Inquisitor's question is accepted and admitted to the record. Answer fully and with complete candor, Acolyte. Well, let's do the one that says tell the truth, because I'm interested to know what's happened as well. I saw something strange, an auditorium filled with strangers, and a hallowed figure of sorts that spoke to us. An auditorium, a hallowed figure. The ravings of an afflicted mind? More data is required. Consider this. The Acolyte is either a lucky bastard who survived an impossible situation, or a complete idiot who returned to a stronghold of the Golden Throne's servants while actually being an agent of the archenemy.
With evidence or without, if we execute the Acolyte now, we may forever lose vital details regarding the nature of the Hereticus Tenebrae.
The most efficient course would be to extract the Acolyte's brain for a synaptic reconstruction of mnemno-fragments, and a replication of the lost memory segments pertaining to the incident. I fulfilled the Cabal's mission as duty and protocol demanded, and now I'm being branded a murderer? Lord Inquisitor Zerg.
Our reality is one of eternal struggle, for resources, for survival, for hope. A reality full of pain and abhorrent choices, where nothing ever goes according to plan. In this very reality, Boring Dude faced a choice. Fulfill his duty to his Inquisitor, or obey the oath he swore to all of humanity. Anyone who claims the choice was obvious is lying to themselves. The loss of Schultus's valor, of the Acolytes and Leander, it is all meaningless if your bones are left to rot on a doomed planet. But Boring Dude and Terminus Omega did not merely survive, they delivered the artifact into the hands of the Tyrantine Cabal. Do you truly believe that by volunteering to retrieve the artifact, Leander de Terral did not fully comprehend the significance of his mission? The Inquisitor understood better than any of us the meaning of absolute submission to one's duty, and that same resolve also took root in his acolytes. So, I will ask the Cabal only once. Does Boring Dude deserve retribution?
Skills test in dialogue. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. Success or failure depends on how the dialogue develops. Hover your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test, and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success, and the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill. Got it. Wits test succeeded. So we had okay, so the difficulty of the test was set to 40, but with our skill and the difficulty modifier, we had 85%, so guaranteed success, I guess. The fact that Lord Inquisitor Zerb himself is now your sole benefactor makes your every nerve pull tight. The favour of the mighty carries a steep price, and you have not yet been told the cost. The grand hall falls silent. Pale faces, clenched jaws, disapproving stares, yet none dare to raise their voice. Then the golden mask turns towards you, and in its dark eye sockets you finally see a glint of living, attentive eyes.
Remove the chains. Henceforth, Boring Dude is under my protection.
Okay. Keep reacting. Rhubarb. This precedent must be recorded in the annals immediately.
What a disgrace.
At first, the Lord Inquisitor's words are met only with stunned expressions, before the hall suddenly erupts into a clamour of astonished voices. Here, before the Tyrantine Cabal and the God Emperor, I swear on my allegiance to the Lord Inquisitor. Your will is my will. What's this? The Storm survivors. Following the mission aboard Schultes' Valor, Terminus Omega Warband was disassembled for his controversial decision. We might have to come back to that. I can't expand it right now.
Enough talk. The Cabal has matters to discuss without you, Boring Dude. Report to Quartermaster Numis. Here he will return your gear and prepare you for your next assignment.
The Lord Inquisitor makes a sharp gesture and the guards part, clearing a path to the Grand Hall's exit. Well, the next item on the session's agenda is, I wonder if there'll be like an intro cinematic or even a prologue of some kind in the full version that kind of explains the events that have preceded this trial. Maybe not. I don't know. But obviously something's happened that we're not fully aware of, so... I want to go... Do I have a journal? That's what I want to check. Here we go. Following the mission aboard the Schultes' Valor, Terminus Omega Warband was disassembled. For his controversial decision, which had severe consequences for the Holy Ordos, the Acolyte was made to appear before the Tyrantine Cabal. He will have to labour to regain the Cabal's trust and atone for his mistakes through service. Okay, so we still don't really know what happened. Head to the nearest convocation room of the Bastion Serpentis and gather the equipment for the Quartermaster. Okay, we've got a map. Obviously we're fairly familiar with this, I suppose, so... so very much like Rogue Trader, we can kind of see points of interest and loot on the map. Now if I hold down tab, I can actually sort of highlight stuff I can interact with. It looks like I can level up. What level am I now? Yee! It's complicated. Ah! I don't want to do that. Did something happen? No. No, I'm accidentally clicking the bug report thing. I want to just close that. Right. Okay. So I get Endure. The warrior regains 5 armor durability. All adjacent enemies suffer 3 damage to their legs. Cannot be used the same turn as charge. Okay. Oh, yeah, level 2. Skills. So how much do I get to... Do I get to add anything? Hang on. Choose skill. Okay, so we can increase something. Now what's this little... Oh, battle skill, I see. I just want to hit something hard. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do that, although strength is going to be a major skill of ours, so maybe we'll go in with this. Jumping, climbing, the application of force for utilitarian purposes, or a combat skill. Aids in overcoming physical restraints, mobilization. I'm gonna go athletics. Alright. We done?
Okay, guess we're done.
Blind the Aid. A young man with a friendly face and impeccable bearing offers a salute the moment you leave the Grand Hall. Oh, Blind Silver's Quartermaster's aide assigned to escort you to the meeting of the Tyrantine Cabal, Master Acolyte. His piercing green eyes study you with genuine interest. Why would I need escort? I don't know. Blind looks somewhat embarrassed. For the time being, I'm only an aide under the patronage of Quartermaster Numis. I run errands for him all over the Bastion Serpentis. Now I've been ordered to escort you to him in the convocation room immediately. Well, let's just go straight there then. Sure. Of course, follow me. There is something to loot there, so I'm going to take a look at this. Consecrated scrolls. And some synths. Not quite sure what those are. So in Rogue Trader, how it worked is you'd kind of... You wouldn't have like an inventory of this stuff. You'd kind of trade like goods from your vault effectively to get stuff to buy things, but I'm not quite sure how it'll work now we're not a rogue trader. Alright, there's Blaine. Blind, I should say. He's talking at the moment, but I'm kind of leaving. I'm looking around. So where have we gone to? All right, we're up there. This it, is it?
Always on the move.
Blasted Xenos ripped him in half, and all because of those damn faulty batteries, no miss.
Your informant might have lived if you could just shoot straight, or is your lack of practice my fault too?
Now it says skip. Is that just his line of dialogue, or maybe I should practice on you, you armory rat? Oh, okay. I see it's kind of filling up the bar.
My life is the property of the Inquisition. Are you prepared to deprive the Holy Orders of their asset?
Oh, I hope you get eaten by a grox, new miss.
To all servants of the Holy Orders in the Bastion Serpentis, words have been spoken, decisions made, and a path charted. Session 2800432, Iota Pi of the Cabal, is now concluded. May the God Emperor receive our sacred service. End of transmission.
I can zoom in as well. Just kind of cool. I can't rotate the camera during conversations though. A solidly built middle-aged man looks at you over exquisitely handcrafted spectacles before giving a brief nod. Quartermaster Numis, spare me the introductions. You are a boring dude. I've already been briefed about you. Blind, you did well for once. The acolyte arrived on time. Blind hides a smile and casts you a look of gratitude. I was told you'd offer me new equipment. Okay. I didn't read that. The quartermaster glances down at the battered data slate in his hands. It says here that Boring Dude is entitled to non-rotational issuance of equipment due to the unplanned depreciation of the previous set. Here, take it. The next scheduled issue is in 3 scintillion years. Or scintillion years. Furthermore, the servant of distribution block Omega 12, Quartermaster Numis, is hereby instructed to assume the duties of distribution overseer in regard to any blessings issued to... He reads more closely, trailing off muttering. When he finishes, he lifts his cold gaze to you. You've been assigned to the verdict, and I've been assigned to you. I'll head to the dock once I've concluded my present business. If you wish to continue this conversation, I'll be waiting for you there. The verdict. Is that what it was called? I imagine that's... We've been given a ship of some kind, perhaps. Who's this? Tuma. The interrogator's expression is unreadable in the dull light of the lumens. The painful bruises scattered across his face have taken on a yellowish-green hue. and the split above his brow is healing into yet another swollen ridge. Long time no see, Baron dude. You look dreadful, Master Ortos. You should take a look at yourself in the mirror. Pitiful sight. Was it worth all the Medicaid's time and effort to patch you up, only for the Cabal's torturers to break your freshly mended bones all over again? And spare me the formalities. We're of equal rank now. Thanks to your devotion to the Tarantine Cabal's mission, the Warband lost an Inquisitor. What kind of interrogator would allow such a thing to happen? Those were the exact words before they stripped me of my status. Well, you were a rather mediocre interrogator anyway. True. But I'd be more circumspect and better prepared for the mission. None of this would have occurred. Awareness test failed. Okay, let's have a look at that. So I've only got 30 and we needed... not quite sure what the percentage is. I guess the check was 95. And we had 30. I'm not quite sure how these not quite sure how to pass that. But glancing at the chrono in his hand, Tuma loses what little interest he had in your conversation. Lord Inquisitor Zerb bade me inform you that he expects you in his work chambers one floor above. I'd advise you not to tarry, unless you wish to forfeit your new patron's favour. You'll not find a replacement for him. Okay. Have a little look around in here first, though. Anything to loot? This press. What is that? I honestly have no idea. Probably a puzzle of some kind, but I don't really know how to solve that yet. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I did, however... Oh, what's this? Turn off. Yeah. Turn off the lights for everyone. You guys didn't mind that, did you? Let's see what's here. True evil forever stalks in the shadows and our unbearable burden.
Mind your surroundings. No sense in delaying.
Treachery is only possible where there is no room for suspicion. Oh, is to cast these shadows always. What are the other symbols here? That's probably related to the puzzle, but what are the other... How can I... Is it because I turned it off? Let's turn it back on. Alright, so what else? Sun? Not sure. Skull. Sword. I don't know. I mean, assuming it's a puzzle, maybe we get some loot or something, but I'm going to sort of press on. Press on with things for now. I did get some stuff though, didn't I? So where's my character? Oh, right, so I've equipped the flak armor. Fair enough. Got a stub revolver and a sword. I was given something there, wasn't I? This flak armor is better than... Oh, so this is the stuff I was given, so this is a bit better than what I'm wearing. But the one I'm wearing gets plus 5% damage reduction. The disposable enemies deal 30% less damage to her. I guess maybe I'll equip that. Arm guard arm. Where does that go? No, I want the flak armor, don't I? I'm guessing I'm guessing some of this is placeholder art. Like there'll be sort of more to kind of differentiate it. Okay, where my cape? 10 awareness, sure. Where are my goggles? The same. I was given something called a hammer. Oh, the Tormentor's Thunder Hammer. So basically two-hander. This weapon deals plus 15% damage to enemies that have not yet suffered damage. Okay. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff. Well, actually, we can probably have different armor sets, can't we? I'm gonna go with a thunder hammer. Aha. Yeah, this is worth the most, which might give us a bit of indication as to what's good and what's not. Oh, that's for Psycho. So I'm guessing I've been given all the sort of standard stuff that all the classes kind of begin with. Now this... don't think... you might be able to use it in battle. Not quite sure. I don't think I've probably got any Medicaid skill yet, though, so... let's go with that. Now we said we're one floor up. I think I have to find another way up. I kind of want to backtrack and make sure I don't not loot anything. Yeah, so can I get through here? You may not go any further. Okay, well there was something in there. There's something... yeah, back here. It's a tree. Banner of the Holy Orders of the Inquisition, the defenders of humanity and the scourge of Xenos, sorcerers, and heretics. What's this thing? A natural cold, one that pierces to the bone, emanates from the container holding the Oraculum Noxus.
Reconnoitering.
Here's the goods. Yes. On the mysteries of mental indoctrination on the death worlds of the Calixis sector. Okay. So if I have these, can I actually, like, read them? Not so much. Okay.
No sense in delaying.
Did I get in there? No. So I bet there's more stuff in there. I can actually move... oh no, that's probably just my view, right? I don't want to... okay, I guess I can do that. That's where I was, right?
At once.
Acolyte of the Inquisition, Warring Dude, Ordo Hereticus, access to the Lord Inquisitor's chambers is granted by virtue of the meritorious service to the Holy Orders.
Servo menial.
Moving.
A steady golden glow emanates from the blade displayed in this case. Its hilt is broken, but the edge appears keenly sharp. A book written in a tongue that barely hints at High Gothic. It is older than the walls of the Bastion Serpentis. The tomes gathered on these shelves are not merely rare, many exist as the sole copy. Oh, okay, so that symbol on one of those columns, I'm guessing that's like the Inquisition symbol? Not quite sure what that puzzle was, but I'm not going to dwell too much on it just for this look at the beta, as I said. do. Former acolyte of the late Inquisitor Leander de Toral has arrived, Lord Inquisitor. Several long minutes pass in absolute silence. Every now and then, whispers of flipped report pages break the hush. Finally, the Lord Inquisitor closes the leather-bound folder and raises his eyes to you.
The destruction of Schulthus's valor, the death of Leander de Toral, the loss of the Iocanthos system. We live in dark times, rich in great losses.
Anton Zerb's hand tightens around the report folder.
Leander was convinced that the heretic Astartes were to blame for the destruction of the ship. You agreed with his conclusions. I have no reason not to believe you both, even if no solid evidence survived. But Leander is dead. The evidence has disappeared, and the words of potentially corrupted acolytes are lacking in credit. To force the Inquisitors to delay their affairs and redirect resources to fight a hidden enemy, one needs strong proof indeed. Proof that a blade has been raised over the capital of Calixis. You will do this. When you receive a new assignment, study your surroundings and seek individual events which, when pieced together, will paint a picture of the lurking evil.
How can we be sure that the heretic Astartes have already infiltrated the scintilla system?
Iocanthos is too small a target. Therefore, they will direct or have already directed their attention and forces to the capital world of a sector mired in warp storms.
Make the sign of the Aquila. I will do all that is possible to complete this task.
That is not enough, Acolyte. I expect you to go beyond the possible. The time has come when only this will allow humanity to prevail.
You made me your acolyte, while others blame me for the death of Master de Toral. Why?
For many years, Leander and I forged a path for humanity, side by side, through the infinite darkness. Even when our views on the pain of this galaxy changed, each of us continued to serve him unwaveringly. And just as Leander once paved the way to the future with the hands of his acolytes, you, boring dude, will become a new bearer of my will.
Zerb removes his inquisitorial sigil from his neck and gives you a strange look.
One who is incapable of sacrifice will never bring change. But you, Acolyte, have shown enough fortitude to do so.
He thrusts out his hand and slowly reveals the sigil.
Even if you must give up everything and everyone, even if it means losing your own humanity, do it to achieve our goal.
Okay, so what is this Amalathian thing? Staunch believer in the God Emperor's grand design, the fulfillment of which demands unity and accord within the endless ranks of Imperium's organization from humanity as a whole. Versus the Xanthite? Okay, well, I'm going to go down the Xenos Hybris route, I think. If my humanity becomes the price for fulfilling the will of the Tyrantine Cabal, then I will gladly pay it. The colossal figure of Anton Zerb remains still, only his golden mask offers a hint of a nod. So I've got up to 9 on this now. What will happen to the Oraculum Noxus?
It is yet to be prepared for the sanctification ritual. When the servants cleanse the artifact with prayers and the tech litanies run their course, it will take its intended place in the Atrium Hall, where every servant of the Tyrantine Cabal will be able to watch and study it.
So that was the thing we saw in the Atrium, wasn't it? The weird cube thing. Why does the Oraculum Noxus bear such importance to the Tyrantine Cabal?
You have seen it at work aboard Schulthus's Valor, but perhaps the memories are so painful that your mind refuses to accept them. Even before the cursed light of the Tyrant's star fell upon the world, the verdict, and you, the artifact had radiated a blinding glow, hadn't it? The Oraculum Noxus is nothing but a herald of inevitable tragedy. The rise of the spectral sun, the Hereticus Tenebrae. From now on, new catastrophes will not catch the Tyrantine Cabal off guard, because of you and the sacrifice of de Toral.
Okay, so it's kind of like a prophecy. Any new assignments for me?
Too many. The essence of the Hereticus Tenebrae has remained unknown to the Tyrantine Cabal for hundreds of years. Therefore, you will begin your own investigation of this phenomenon, with a clean slate. Revisit every lead gathered by your predecessors, trace connections, and draw new conclusions. Start your research with a visit to the restricted section of the Bastion Serpentis archives.
Okay. The Lord Inquisitor waves his hand and the lumens flare in the eye sockets of the servo skulls hovering nearby.
I am certain you recognize the servo ossuarium. The events aboard Schultes' Valor resulted in considerable damage to the device, but the tech priests managed to restore its functionality. Alas, the same cannot be said of the data from your last mission. I returned to Terral's device to you. Use its full potential to carry out the mission entrusted you.
We got a servo skull. For a few moments, Anton Zerb remains silent.
Is there anything you have not shared with me yet? About Schultes' Valor? About what happened to you when the spectral sun shone upon you? Speak. I will listen.
Let's tell the truth. I saw something strange, an auditorium filled with strangers, and a hallowed figure of sorts that spoke to us. Zerb says nothing at first, then,
I see. And what did this figure want?
I'm unsure. It spoke of odd things. A shield against the darkness, the impotence of death, ashes that the Titan's heart would not see.
This knowledge must remain between us, Acolyte. Whether your vision was the delusion of a mind fractured by the Tyrant Star's influence or something else, there is more to learn. However, if any member of the Cabal doubts the purity of your thoughts or your free will, even I cannot shield you from execution. Remember this.
For a while, the Golden Mask watches you in silence before Zerb returns at last to the reports folder.
Acolyte, in addition to the high-priority tasks, you are to take on more mundane duties. Go to the Maris Sportum sector as Habzo, located in the lower levels of the Hive Sibelius. Inquisitor Millicentilia and Sister Septima have been conducting their investigations there for some time. I want you to render them any feasible assistance, acquiescently. It seems something has driven them to linger in that dark place.
Okay. Side quest. The Lord Inquisitor takes out an ornately embossed envelope and dismissively puts it aside.
Afterwards, head to the Lucid Palace and meet with Inquisitor Olianth Rathbone. She has obtained intelligence that some heretic cell plots to assassinate a high-ranking figure during the celebrations of Saint Sibelius. There is no conclusive evidence that these heretics exist at all. Indeed, this situation appears to be nothing more than the typical squabbles of the aristocracy, and the Holy Ordos do not waste time on such trivialities. However, there remains a slim chance that this rumor somehow relates to the activity of the traitor Astartes. That is why I'm sending you to take the measure of things.
Okay, let's not worry about that one. I don't mind having some quests to do. But you told me to find information on the Tyrant Star in the Bastion Archives. What exactly am I looking for?
Find Chronicle Keeper Bloodworth. His post is located in the Archivum Serpentis. He will guide you to the most important sources of information about the Tyrant Star.
Am I to prevent the assassination attempt in the spires?
I do not care whether another Lucidian, soldier or priest dies. Even if the Tyrant Star lit up the sky over Scintilla right now, each of them would keep gnawing at each other's throats, if only to satisfy their depraved egos in the moments before death. And even when, in this senseless commotion, someone finally devours the weakest, their place will be immediately taken by a successor. The task of the Inquisition is not to save those who consider themselves the chosen of humanity. Our task is to use those who wrongly believe themselves chosen, in the name of humanity's salvation. Thus, even if this heretic cell turns out to be a figment, use this opportunity to remind Scintilla's elite that, in the eyes of the Holy Ordos, none are guiltless.
Inquisitor Rathbone, who's she?
As my acolyte, you should be more informed on the active members of the Tyrantine Cabal from now on. Olianth Rathbone is currently undertaking a mission on Scintilla, acting as the voice of the Holy Ordos. She is capable of persuading even those who usually only accept the language of force to cooperate. Let her use you if it serves the mission, but do not even think to trust her.
Okay. What manner of place is the Marisportum Sectoris? I've never heard of it.
One of the decaying hab zones of the lower levels, forgotten by the Ecclesiarchy, the Magistratum, and perhaps by the God Emperor himself. In recent months, Marisportum has been drowning in seaquakes. If you hesitate, you stand a very real chance of seeing nothing but an endless toxic sea that has swallowed all life.
What exactly are Inquisitor Millicentilia and Sister Septima doing in the lower levels of the Hive?
I assume the details will be shared with you in Marisportum, if they deem it necessary.
Understood.
You will need a warband. Acolytes Space and Davos are currently finishing an inspection in the infirmary. You already know them. As for Acolyte Sorrow, who will replace Acolyte Shriek as a sanctioned psycho, he can most likely be found in the Temple Hall. Use them as you see fit. Now, go. And remember, Acolyte, time is not on our side. Results, not excuses. That is what I expect from you.
Damn, he's a serious kind of guy, huh? Oh, what have I done? I've pressed a button. I think it's really wrong place. Right. Yeah, I can't loot any of the stuff in his study. I guess that would be a little bit cheeky.
Never still for long.
I didn't look at these, did I? A single solitary tooth, likely an incisor, judging by the shape. There's no label on the display case. A golden mask, nearly identical to the one worn by the Lord Inquisitor, sundered in two by an unknown force. Interesting. Did I see this? What's this? Beneath the statue's crude form, the true skill of its sculptor can still be seen. The figure is covered in a delicate filigree of litanies, visible only from up close. Oh, I guess I was kind of rushed past that bit, the place in a cutscene, wasn't I? Okie dokie. Got a few things on our to-do list. We're getting to some of those side rooms now. Hello. That might be a decent place to leave our first episode here. As I said, we're going to carry on for a little while. The beta, as far as I'm aware, is the whole of the first act of the game, so I don't know if we'll see all of it. But also, I don't want to spoil too much for myself ahead of a full release, which I'm sure I will play a full campaign of on the channel. Yeah, we'll certainly keep pressing on for a few more episodes yet to, you know, see for ourselves a bit more. Maybe get into a fight at some point and see how that all plays out. But for now, if I have a quick look at the map. So, yeah, we've been up here, we've been up here. That's the archive. Haven't been to the chapel yet. Infirmary. Yeah, so I imagine that there was a couple of doors here that were kind of blocked off for us, weren't they? So I imagine we could probably get through there now. Tuma. Were we asked to speak to Tuma? I don't think so. Let me just check my journal. Yeah, so Saro is one they wants me to recruit. The Katakan jungle fighter Hamar in the Medicaid wing. Okay. And the surgeon... I know historically that this word is what eventually became surgeon in our language. I'm not sure if you pronounce it differently when it's kind of in its more original Latin form. Surgeon. But I'm going to say surgeon, because that's basically what it is. In the Medicaid wing. So yeah, so Tuma is not one I'm supposed to recruit. These are what I've done. Okay, then we've got They have come for us. All right. Just wants me to keep an eye out for stuff. Echo, go to the Maris Portum Sectoris. And then we've got... Go to Spires. Okay, so we've kind of got... Keep an eye... Or do some recruitment in this area, which we'll do next time. Keep an eye out for weird things. And then 2 further areas to go to and, you know, investigate a bit further. So cool. As I said, we'll leave it there for now. But, you know, if you've enjoyed this initial look at Dark Heresy, particularly those who watched my my Rogue Trader series as well, let me know your thoughts about that. I mean, it seems very much familiar in terms of the look and feel of it so far. I think there will be differences. I think someone said they'd streamlined the leveling up aspect. That did get quite dense in Rogue Trader at times, trying to understand all your options when you're leveled up. I think they've made some moves to simplify that somewhat, but we'll probably see a bit more of that in action as we go. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you've enjoyed this episode, if you can hit the like button as well, that'd be fantastic. And, you know, big thank you, as always, big shout out to our channel members for supporting Boring Dad Gaming. It's very appreciated, as it always is. And if anyone else is interested in checking out channel memberships and gaining earlier access to videos in my various long play series on the channel, that'd be awesome. But otherwise, I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.